En este video veremos la tercera parte del grupo de sustantivos del nivel avanzado, en el ejercicio denominado Práctica con voz normal.
Bienvenido a Talker Gym.
Let us begin.
Let us begin. Genocide.
Genocide.
Genocidio.
Genocide.
Genocide. Likelihood.
Likelihood.
Probabilidad.
Likelihood.
Likelihood. Broadband.
Broadband.
Banda ancha.
Broadband.
Broadband. Mainland.
Mainland.
Continente.
Mainland.
Mainland. Hatred.
Hatred.
Odio.
Hatred.
Hatred. Accused.
Accused.
Acusado.
Accused.
Accused. Rhetoric.
Rhetoric.
Retórica.
Rhetoric.
Rhetoric. Logic.
Logic.
Lógica.
Logic.
Logic. Battlefield. Battlefields.
Battlefield. Battlefields.
Campo de batalla.
Battlefield. Battlefields.
Battlefield. Battlefields. Threshold. Thresholds.
Threshold. Thresholds.
Límite, o umbral.
Threshold. Thresholds.
Threshold. Thresholds. Magnitude. Magnitudes.
Magnitude. Magnitudes.
Magnitud.
Magnitude. Magnitudes.
Magnitude. Magnitudes. Homeland. Homelands.
Homeland. Homelands.
Patria.
Homeland. Homelands.
Homeland. Homelands. Landlord. Landlords.
Landlord. Landlords.
Arrendador.
Landlord. Landlords.
Landlord. Landlords. Upgrade. Upgrades.
Upgrade. Upgrades.
Mejora.
Upgrade. Upgrades.
Upgrade. Upgrades. Suicide. Suicides.
Suicide. Suicides.
Suicidio.
Suicide. Suicides.
Suicide. Suicides. Strand. Strands.
Strand. Strands.
Hebra, o hilo.
Strand. Strands.
Strand. Strands. Hazard. Hazards.
Hazard. Hazards.
Peligro, o riesgo.
Hazard. Hazards.
Hazard. Hazards. Squad. Squads.
Squad. Squads.
Equipo, o escuadrón.
Squad. Squads.
Squad. Squads. Blade. Blades.
Blade. Blades.
Cuchilla.
Blade. Blades.
Blade. Blades. Blend. Blends.
Blend. Blends.
Mezcla.
Blend. Blends.
Blend. Blends. Fluid. Fluids.
Fluid. Fluids.
Fluido.
Fluid. Fluids.
Fluid. Fluids. Thread. Threads.
Thread. Threads.
Amenaza, o hilo.
Thread. Threads.
Thread. Threads. Tide. Tides.
Tide. Tides.
Marea.
Tide. Tides.
Tide. Tides. Raid. Raids.
Raid. Raids.
Incursión, o redada.
Raid. raids,
raid, raids. Breed, breeds.
breed, breeds,
raza,
breed, breeds,
Breed, breeds. Grid, grids.
grid, grids,
cuadrícula, o red, o rejilla,
grid, grids,
Grid, grids. Yield, yields.
yield, yields,
rendimiento,
yield, yields,
Yield, yields. Pond, ponds.
pond, ponds,
charco, o estanque,
pond, ponds,
Pond, ponds. Sword, swords.
sword, swords,
espada,
sword, swords,
Sword, swords. Pad, pads.
pad, pads,
almohadilla,
pad, pads,
Pad, pads. Rod, rods.
rod, rods,
barra, o varilla,
rod, rods,
Rod, rods. Deed, deeds.
deed, deeds,
escritura,
deed, deeds,
Deed, deeds. Aid, aids.
aid, aids,
asistente, o ayudante,
aid, aids,
Aid, aids. Weed, weeds.
weed, weeds,
hierba,
weed, weeds,
Weed, weeds. Catalog, catalogs.
catalog, catalogs,
catálogo,
catalog, catalogs,
Catalog, catalogs. Plug, plugs.
plug, plugs,
enchufe,
plug, plugs,
Plug, plugs. Gig, gigs.
gig, gigs,
concierto, o trabajo temporal,
gig, gigs,
Gig, gigs. Log, logs.
log, logs,
registro,
log, logs,
Log, logs. Diplomatic, diplomats.
diplomatic, diplomats,
diplomático,
diplomatic, diplomats,
Diplomatic, diplomats. Trademark, trademarks.
trademark, trademarks,
marca comercial,
trademark, trademarks,
Trademark, trademarks. Benchmark, benchmarks.
benchmark, benchmarks,
punto de referencia,
benchmark, benchmarks,
Benchmark, benchmarks. Republic, republics.
republic, republics,
república,
republic, republics,
Republic, republics. Epidemic, epidemics.
epidemic, epidemics,
epidemia,
epidemic, epidemics,
Epidemic, epidemics. Dynamic, dynamics.
dynamic, dynamics,
dinámico,
dynamic, dynamics,
Dynamic, dynamics. Outbreak, outbreaks.
outbreak, outbreaks,
brote,
outbreak, outbreaks,
Outbreak, outbreaks. Landmark, landmarks.
landmark, landmarks,
punto de referencia,
landmark, landmarks,
Landmark, landmarks. Critique, critiques.
critique, critiques,
crítica,
critique, critiques,
Critique, critiques. chunk, chunks,
chunk, chunks,
pedazo, o trozo,
chunk, chunks,
chunk, chunks, intake, intakes,
intake, intakes,
admisión, o consumo, o ingesta,
intake, intakes,
intake, intakes, tactic, tactics,
tactic, tactics,
táctica,
tactic, tactics,
tactic, tactics, outlook, outlooks,
outlook, outlooks,
panorama, o perspectiva,
outlook, outlooks,
outlook, outlooks, monk, monks,
monk, monks,
monje,
monk, monks,
monk, monks, stake, stakes,
stake, stakes,
apuesta, o estaca,
stake, stakes,
stake, stakes, sake, sakes,
sake, sakes,
beneficio,
sake, sakes,
sake, sakes, bulk, bulks,
bulk, bulks,
a granel, o mayor parte,
bulk, bulks,
bulk, bulks, mask, masks,
mask, masks,
máscara, o mascarilla,
mask, masks,
mask, masks, leak, leaks,
leak, leaks,
filtración,
leak, leaks,
leak, leaks, peak, peaks,
peak, peaks,
cima, o pico,
peak, peaks,
peak, peaks,